Hello all and welcome back to the Pipe Cottage. I am enjoying my meerschaum today. I was reorganizing my study a little bit and I noticed this meerschaum pipe in a case tucked underneath some books and some note paper that I had just sitting on my desk, and I completely forgot that I had bought this pipe. It's an estate pipe. I completely forgot that I bought it probably 3 or 4 months ago. But And in this pipe today, I am smoking a blend called Ephemeris. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Ephemeris. That is offered by the Briary in Birmingham, Alabama. You can go and order it online, I think. They didn't pay me to talk about this blend, but I picked it up. It's a house blend. It's got Stowe Virginia, Red Virginia, and Bright Virginia in it. I've been enjoying it. It's really, really good if you're a Virginia smoker. But today's topic is a topic that folks have asked me to cover time and time again. I've never done it because there's already a lot of good material on the internet about beginning pipe tobacco recommendations. Already so much material on there, but maybe there's not a whole lot of crossover. So to answer the question, I'm going to give maybe 6 recommendations for people who are beginning their pipe smoking journey. 6 pipe tobacco recommendations. 3 are aromatic, 3 are not. The first one, and I got a little list down here. If you see me glancing down there, that's what I'm looking at. The first, before we get into that, there are no flakes, no coins, no plug tobaccos in this recommended list. Simply because I think when you're starting out smoking a pipe, you need to keep it as simple as possible. So all of these are ribbon cut. And so I think, with the exception of maybe one, which could possibly be more of a cube cut. But the bottom line is all of these tobaccos can be packed in the bowl easily. They do not require a great deal of effort to prepare before you put it in the bowl. One of the most frustrating things that I had to deal with when I first started smoking a pipe was the many various ways in which pipe tobacco is sold. You've got plugs and coins and the flakes. I love flakes. Now I love all kinds of tobaccos that come in these forms, but I think when you're starting out, you need to keep it very simple. And none of these blends have a high nicotine content. And I think we have to be very careful when you're starting out smoking a pipe to stay away from material that has high nicotine, especially if you've never smoked tobacco before. Now, I know some people come into the pipe smoking lifestyle because they are moving away from cigarettes. I've never been a cigarette smoker, so I don't know what that's like, but I do know that when you are a cigarette smoker, sometimes you tend to smoke a whole lot because you're addicted to nicotine. You're bringing it into your lungs, and your lungs accept nicotine into the bloodstream far more than anything that's going on in the oral cavity. But you can still, your body is still being exposed to nicotine even through pipe tobacco. So when I first started, there were certain blends that I knew from just trying them for 10 to 15 minutes that I needed to stay away from. And you do build a certain degree of nicotine tolerance as you are smoking a pipe over time. But just let me say this. Let me say this because this is going to come up. If there's nicotine in it, don't you become addicted. I've addressed this so many times in previous videos. Absolutely not. I recently went through a period where I was rather burned out on all things Pipe Cottage, pipe smoking, etc. And I didn't smoke my pipe but maybe once a week for 2 months. And I just didn't enjoy it because you get burned out on things sometimes, particularly if you're around it all day and you're thinking about a particular thing all day. You kind of get burned out on it. And so, no, I've never been addicted to nicotine, but it's there, and you have to be aware of that when you're smoking a pipe. So there's no blend here that includes dark-fired Kentucky, which is a leaf that, in my experience, has a great deal of nicotine content. There's no straight Virginia blend, so there's no straight anything. There's no straight burley. I would not recommend a beginning pipe smoker get involved with any kind of pure Virginia flake or straight burley tobacco or anything that's not a blend. It needs to be fairly well blended tobacco as you're starting out. Number one is Cult Blood Red Moon. I've mentioned this before, and there was some talk years ago about whether this blend was going to be taken off the market or not, and I can still find it. I checked on Pipes and Cigars this morning, and it's available there. It's not available on Smoking Pipes at the time of this recording, but you can still find it, and it's still cheap, $10 to $12 a tin. And that's not a lot of money. And a tin can last you a long time, particularly when you're starting out. Let's see. So this is a cherry blend. This is a cherry blend. It has Burley, Virginia, and Black Cavendish in it. A beautiful cherry blend. And most seasoned veteran pipe smokers don't enjoy cherry tobaccos, and for good reason. Most cherry-flavored tobaccos on the market taste like cough syrup. They don't have a very good flavor. But this is the only one, and I think many other people, including YouTube presenters, would agree with me that this does not taste like corn syrup. It has this pleasant aroma, this pleasant room note, and you can taste that cherry flavor in and they use quality leaf. The key with all of these blends is they all use high-quality tobacco leaf, whether we're talking about an aromatic or not. The second blend is a light English, Early Morning Pipe by Peterson. Early Morning Pipe by Peterson. This is a light English, not an aromatic. It includes Oriental Leaf, Latakia, Bright, and Red Virginias. There's no blend I love more to go with a cup of coffee in the morning than Early Morning Pipe. It is aptly named, aptly named. Used to be owned by Dunhill, but now Peterson brand, and I think the Scandinavian Tobacco Company is actually the owner of the Peterson tobacco brand now. The Peterson pipes are owned by Laudisi, the Peterson Pipe Company. And so Early Morning Pipe, if you just want to get your feet into something other than aromatic as you're starting out, I can't recommend anything better than Early Morning Pipe. It's smooth, it's mellow, but it has that beautiful, rich tobacco taste that you would expect from Peterson, formerly Dunhill. The third blend I would recommend is Cobblestone Walnut Maple Pie. Now, I had another video where I talked especially about aromatics, and I can't recall whether this made it into that video or not. It's an older video, but I would definitely recommend Cobblestone Walnut Maple Pie. It is burley Virginia tobacco with a maple and walnut topping. It is so beautiful in the fall, the ultimate fall blend. I used to say that Autumn Evening by Cornell and Deal was the ultimate fall blend, but I don't think that anymore. I very seldom reach for Autumn Evening these days. I much prefer Cobblestone Walnut Maple Pie. Now, another thing about this list, there are no house blends or bulk blends on this list. These are all tin tobaccos that you can buy easily and readily. They are readily available on all of the big online pipe smoking retailers, all of their stores. You can also buy several of these blends, these tins, from other online places. Not necessarily Smoking Pipes or Pipes and Cigars, so do a little shopping and find out tobaccopipes.com, which Sutliff now owns. They've got a wonderful online selection as well. So I wanted to come up with a list of things that you could easily buy just with a click of the button, because I know many people who are beginning as pipe smokers they don't have a brick and mortar close by, and this is another point that I think is worth bearing out. Many people who are starting smoking a pipe don't necessarily want that to be public knowledge, at least not at first, because as sad as it is, any type of tobacco use is taboo in our culture now. It's taboo. It didn't used to be that way. And so as people are beginning to smoke a pipe, you're differentiating between cigarette culture and the premium tobacco world of cigars and pipe tobacco. So I understand that many people just don't want to go public with their exploration of pipe smoking, and that's fine. So these are all blends for that reason that you can buy with the click of a button. The fourth on the list is Granger, a Codger blend. Several of the forums online will recommend that people start with the old Codger blends, Prince Albert, Carter Hall, Half and Half, Sir Walter Raleigh. It just so happens, all those are fine, but Granger is my favorite Codger blend, and so that's why it makes the list. And I don't have the tins here. I didn't want to go rummaging through my cellar and just pull out the tins for this video. Because frankly, I don't know where some of these tins are at the moment. They're either in that chest there, they may be in that cabinet over there. I didn't want to go and try and hunt them down. So Granger is, I think it's entirely American burley. It does have a topping on it, but don't ask me what it is. I don't know. But all I know is that among the Codger blends, this one has the best flavor for my palate. It has a full burley tobacco flavor. And if you're coming from the cigarette world and you're wanting to give up that hobby, it's not a hobby. You want to give up that habit and move into the pipe smoking hobby, perhaps Granger would be a good medium ground, because primarily burley is what's used for cigarette production, and so this may help ease you into the pipe smoking world. But either way, I think that the Codger blends are an excellent introduction to the pipe smoking lifestyle. The next blend is Kramer's Father Dempsey. Now, I haven't personally smoked this blend in a couple of years. And not for any particular reason. There's no reason why I haven't smoked it. It's just I haven't thought about it. I have so many other blends that I like to enjoy on a regular occasion. I simply haven't thought of this until I was putting the list together for this video. And so it occurred to me that Father Dempsey pipe tobacco is a wonderful way for somebody to be introduced to a full English blend. Now, we spoke about early morning pipe. Early morning pipe is a light English. Father Dempsey is a full English, but it's smooth. It's mellow and it's smooth. And this blend contains Virginia, Latakia, and Orientals. And you can read the story about how this tobacco was named online. I won't go into it now. It's essentially named after an Irish Catholic priest in Southern California who enjoyed full English, and there was a pipe shop there called Kramer's that's no longer there. I think Cornell and Deal actually produces this blend now. And so the good priest wanted a particular full English, and so this is the blend that the pipe shop there in Southern California made for him. So for all of my Irish Catholic acquaintances out there who watch this channel, you may enjoy simply the provenance and the nomenclature behind this blend. I know I do. And it comes in a beautiful, beautiful tin with this dark forest green label on it. Oh, I think artwork. I need to do a video on artwork, tin art. Because in Europe and other places, they have these huge, ugly smoking kills labels on their pipe tins because of government regulation. I don't think it's as bad here in the United States, but some of the most beautiful artwork you would ever find is sometimes located on these pipe tins. And so just thought I'd throw that little piece of information out there. Now, the last blend is a blend, another aromatic, but it's not really rich, deep aromatic. It's not topped overly with anything. I would call this probably a crossover blend. I know that, yeah, it's got English components, but it does have an aromatic topping, a vanilla topping. That blend is East Farthing from Sutcliffe. East Farthing from Sutcliffe. And some people have compared this to the old Frogmorton series that McClellan produced, and I can see where that would come from. The blend is Virginia, Latakia, and Burley. And when you have Virginia and Latakia and Burley, you're starting to create an American English blend at that point. When you include Burley in a blend that otherwise would be traditionally English, then it becomes an American English, which is sort of a contradiction in terms. But that's what people call it on occasions. I don't think there's any Oriental leaf in this. There's, well, except obviously for Latakia, but I don't know of any pure Oriental leaf that's in that blend. But it does remind me of the old Frogmorton room note in the taste to a certain extent. Easy tobacco to smoke, very easy to smoke, easy to pack. And I think that if you're looking for something that's different, not exclusively an aromatic, not exclusively in English or Virginia Perique, then East Farthing can give you a unique, interesting perspective on what actually can be done with a good blending talent. And they've got some good blending talent at Sutcliffe, because Sutcliffe is now owned by McBaron. And we all know the wonderful blenders and pipe offerings that McBaron has been able to produce over the years. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the list. I wanted to keep it short and simple. I don't have a whole great big old long list of stuff, but we could keep going. We could keep going through a much longer list of information, but I just want to stop there. That would get you started. Maybe I'll do another video on pipes that people can use to get started. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. If you have blends that you experienced that treated you well as you started your pipe smoking journey, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. But in the meantime, this is Alan Harrelson with the Pipe Cottage. Thank you for stopping by.